another week. Hope you had a nice trading week. If you didn't have a good week, it's just time for you to get your energy up, right? Learn from your mistakes and try to see what you can do to improve, right? So before we start today with our weekly outlook, I would like us to do a recap of what happened last week, right? So last week, if you notice, I sent out a quick breakdown before the NFP happened. That was on US30, right? Pre-market analysis on US30. So if you've not watched the video, check out the YouTube channel. You're going to see the video there, right? So on that video, I was explaining my analysis on US30 and my view on NFP, right? Yeah, what happened is we had quite a lot of fake outs. If you notice, a lot of fake outs are happening, but regardless, the news still win the direction. So my bias was that US30 is going to move to this level here. I was expecting it to actually fall from this zone at 34,900, but we had an extension here to 34, around 34,960. So that was because of trying to look at the Fibonacci 61.8% level, right? Which actually helped, right? So regardless, the trade still went in our direction. So those who watch the video, I'm sure they really made a lot of money from that video, right? Because it actually played out, right? It actually played out back in close to how many pips? 170 pips, right? So yeah, that was that for the news and the analysis sense. So it was just a quick recap and so on. So today we are going to be diving definitely into what we are seeing for the week. We had NFP, we had a lot of fundamentals released last week, and this week we hoping to see that market now have getting new directions and how the market is going to be moving. So before we go straight into technical analysis, I want us to take a quick look at the fundamentals. Right. So looking at the fundamentals, what we have here, last week, I just wanted to do a quick recap of the news that came out last week. So last week we had Friday, we had what? NFP, which was the main news, which was released. When we refresh to see previous week, Friday. So we had NFP came out. So the forecast, the previous one we had 157k, and what the forecast that NFP is going to 169k and had 187k. You notice that this was higher than the forecast, right? It was higher than the forecast, and definitely we had what higher than the previous one. So what is this telling you, right? So if you don't understand this, it tries to be here changing the number of unemployed people during the previous month, right? So it means what we had more jobs openings, right? There were more jobs, right? Actually better than forecast. So we had more jobs, right? Which is what I was actually forecasting for the USD to be strong if you watch my video, right? Now there was some mixed data. We had NFP coming out strong and we have unemployment rate increasing, right? So now what happened is that's why you notice we had a lot of fake outs. Let me just look into the charts. You see that we had market kind of went up and pushed down to the original side. You see that, right? That was because we had what interest unemployment rate coming out higher, and then interest and then the non-farm payroll coming out higher as well. So kind of positive and negative here. So that was kind of mixed news, wouldn't give you the right direction. And we had what the manufacturing PMI come out was positive on that same day. Overall, making the US dollar more stronger. That is why I see the GBPUSD, GBPJPY and so on started falling and the USD pair was gaining strength. Right. That was that for the news. So coming up this week, as I said, my overall bias on USD is I'm bullish on USD, right? I'm bullish on USD. That's just it, right? And that was my focus before NFP was released. So now if you want to look at our technical analysis, I want us to start with the XY. So yeah, that's what you actually, so you see the fake out that happened. So this was because of the interest rates coming out higher, right? Unemployment rates which was higher. That's why I saw this move, and overall the dollar was overall positive, right? That is why I see final directions to the upside, and that was my forecast for it, right? So now looking at the daily time frame, what are you expecting on US debt on US dollar? So you can see that okay, on the daily time frame we're within this range. We have been trading within this range. Try to adjust, please. We've been trading within this range, right? You can see we're in option. So we had this move to the downside. We expected this level high and we broke out and got this candle here. So we had price pushing back to the upside. So my expectations are okay, price is heading backwards to this resistance zone. So if price is heading to this resistance zone, what are you expecting? What are you expecting? So if price is heading to the resistance zone, we're expecting to see that okay, we should kind of have kind of a rejection somewhere about here, and what a breakout here means price will head back to the zone. So my overall target on US30 is on, sorry, I keep calling US30. That's because I love trading it, right? What I'm expecting. So moving on the 4-hour time frame, what are you expecting? On forward, what are you seeing? You can see that you've kind of created bullish structure here. You can move like what at this what resistance zone, as I said. So we're waiting to see if we get the momentum for market to continue the bullish bias price heading to this zone, right? So if you are expecting the XY to be what bullish, with the XY to be bullish, that the US dollar index to be bullish, then we're expecting what gold to be bearish, GBPUSD to be bearish, right? USD card to be bullish, USDJPY what to be bullish as well, right? So have that in mind, right? Now we'll move on straight to gold to look at gold. So you kind of see my chart already marked out, right? So this is what happened. This is what happened because of MFP coming out positive and unemployment coming out negative, right? You need to be able to understand the differences between these things and how to read them, interpret them on the graph, in the charts. Right? You notice that now when when the news came out, unemployment rate came out negative, right? That is why you see gold was pushing to the upside up to 1953, and now we have NFP coming on positive and the PMI coming on, manufacturing PMI coming on positive as well. So we saw that market going back to the downside. So we had kind of a mixed news on Friday, right? But regardless, the dollar is really strong. So what I'm expecting to see, since I'm expecting the XY to go to the upside, I'm expecting to see gold coming back to the test on this level, right? So this was my previous bias for the week, last week, and actually it met the bias. So we had expected price pushing up right up to this level, which was actually met, right? So do not forget to watch it videos which I post. It's going to really help you. Now I'm expecting to see this continuation to this downside somewhere here, right? So to see price heading back to 1930 level, back to just what this trend line. So now what you have is that you are seeing price going, price is going back now to retest this zone, right? Maybe heading back to 1942 the about, then I'll be taking sales from here back to what 1930, 1927. So that is my expectation on gold, right? That's my expectation on gold. Now moving on to any other pair, GBPUSD, which is the next pair related with the dollar, right? Similar thing. See what I was talking about, right? What I was trying to explain about the mixed news. Just give me some time. I want to see to remove this these things. Yeah. Okay. Clean my charts. Because the price action trader, your chart seems to be clean, right? So yeah, so we are kind of in this range on GBPUSD. So before you notice, you notice that okay, we had this flashy upside. That was still because of the unemployment rate, right? Overall, to the downside, dollar was strong, right? That was just my expectation. I expected the dollar to be very strong, and that was what actually happened, right? So if you have the dollar strong, then what I'm expecting what to still see this movement, to see this continuation to the downside, right? I'm expecting this to continue to the downside. That's my expectation. But first, let's move on to the daily time frame, right? So looking at the daily time frame on GBP USD, what can you see? What is led here? You can see that okay, yes, we're within this range, actually within this range. Okay, we finally broken out of the range. Yeah, finally broken out of the range. So you can see clearly that where am I expecting GBPUSD to head to? My overall target on GBPUSD is to see GBPUSD fall into this zone, right? We have 124,500. I'm expecting to see USD around this zone, right? And even having the next target somewhere here. You're going to be my next target. That's going to be my next target. Right, on GBPUSD. First is this particular zone. So before it's happening, I want to see price taking out this zone we have here, right? So you can see we've currently broken out of this zone here above, right? So what I want to see is price actually just giving me some small retest back and then boom to the downside. So that's what I'm expecting on GBPUSD. As simple as that. That's on the daily time frame actually. So if we move to the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame, what are you expecting? What are we expecting on the 4-hour time frame? So on the 4-hour time frame, as I said, you notice we're within this range, we've been ranging, break out, went back inside the range, now finally out again. Now I want to see price taking out this particular zone. So I want to see this zone being broken out. So if we can get price to see below this zone, so expecting this price to close below and then we can make up in this sales to the downside. That means we're going to be very patient with the market to see the market actually play out. So expecting price to move like that's to say 100 pips, right? So expecting to see price actually price might reach here, actually see some reaction go back to the upside. So we want to see a breakout here and then price continue to the downside. So that's my view on GBPUSD. I'm trying to make it very short, everyone. So moving into GBPJPY actually playing up and down, right? But yeah, right? So we see where we are calling on GBPJPY on the 4-hour time frame. It tells you that one, where is the direction of the market? That's the first thing. We see that we are calling an option here. Now we are ranging. The market is ranging. Market is ranging. So let's move a bit to a higher time frame. So you notice that on this higher time frame, as I said, we are kind of bullish here. Price came here, we tested back. So back we testing to the zone where it just broke out from, went back, came again to retest. Right now we are currently rejecting what at this resistance zone. For us to see that, okay, what is price? We need to see a breakout here, confirmation that, oh yes, price is heading to this zone. Now we've not had that breakout yet. We've not had that breakout yet. So we are still within this one. Price is rejecting here. So we might be expecting GBPJPY to actually push back to this zone. Now let me just check this in. So I've noticed for the past week, GBPJPY has really been moving because of the Japanese yen, which is what I will just show you real quick. So I've been mentioning the Japanese yen for some time now, and I noticed this year has been influencing the way GBPJPY is moving, right? So now when price was here, so what you need to understand is, okay, correlation. So we are trading GBPJPY and we are trading the yen against the pound. So looking at these two pairs, what do we see? If the yen is actually increasing, like if the yen is increasing, so if you're having something like, okay, GBPJPY, right? Now we have this, all the P's will come out. Then we have this, right? This is what we have. Now, if this one is increasing, right, this is what has been pushing the yen throughout. If the yen is actually pushing to the upside, what I'm expecting is going to happen to this currency pair, right? Since we are looking at the price of this, right, put that against this, right? Because once you open the GBP, going to this price, you're going to be the yen price. So if the price of yen is increasing, definitely you're going to be seeing what GBPJPY, the whole of this currency pair falling. That's what we're going to be seeing, right? And that was what was happening. As the yen was increasing, right, as the yen was actually increasing to the upside, we saw what GBPJPY falling, right? You notice GBPJPY was falling. Now, as we go, let's go back to the yen. We need to go back to the yen. Looking at the yen now, where we are currently on the yen, we are seeing that the yen is rejecting back to the downside. So I've also noticed that the yen has been trading within what? Within this zone, the region with this in this zone, right? So we just be moving up and down, not very hard to break out, and that's why you're also seeing GBPJPY ranging within that particular zone, right? So that was just something I wanted to chip in. So for it, so now what should you be expecting on the yen, right? Just putting this, you notice that what we are currently at this level, rejecting here. So where are we heading to? We're heading back to this zone, right? So if this yen is falling, what I expect, we're expecting what GG to move to the upside, right? That's just a trick I just showed. You're expecting is moving back to this zone, right? So if it's moving back to that zone, what should we be expecting in GG, right? I'm expecting GG to move back to the upside to this range. Right? That's just what I'll be expecting on GBPJPY. Just a trick I just want to show you, right? So I expect GBPJPY to move back to this zone, right? So I'll be bullish on GBPJPY to look for buys. So I'll be looking for buys within this particular zone, right? To see if you can. Now, how do you get it? By this time, we are only also ranging with this particular zone on the 1 hour time frame. So what I'm expecting, if you actually do this buy here, buys here, good for you. So right now, a clear setup, I'm saying that okay, I want to see this a bullish candle again, then close, and then I can take my shoot and put my stop loss somewhere below here, 25 pips. Then I'll be targeting overall. I'll be targeting this overall target somewhere here, right? Now, being my overall target somewhere here, it doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore this zone, ignore this other zone. No, I won't be doing that, right? Reason being that this is a key zone I'll be looking out for. So first take profit might be somewhere here, second take profit, then third take profit will be somewhere there. So that's my expectation on GBPJPY. So move on to the next pair, GBP card. GBP card actually played out nice as well. I think I called this trade on the channel. So we had about, I think it was like 70, 75 pips, if I'm not forgetting. Yeah, I called GBPJPY, I think, yeah, GBP card. So we called this trade. It was a good one. That was like 1 to 2 weeks reward. Now, what is our expectation in GBP card now? Right. So you can see that this level is, I can take this out now. Right. So we missed a sell here, no problem. So what is expecting on GBP card? You see that we're also approaching what a resistance, a support level, right? We are approaching a support level. But first, how you need to understand what is happening, what is the overall trend of this particular currency pair. So I'll move to the daily time frame to try to see if I can get it. And exactly we've been overall on an uptrend, right? Then we just have some consolidation here, we're rejecting here. So for us to turn into a downtrend, then it means that we want to see price taking out this zone, we want to see price breaking out of this zone, but we've not had that yet, right? We've not had price breaking out of this zone. So yeah, we are going to see if we can have some bullish price confirmations here, then we are expecting to get our buys back to the upside. And now what you can see clearly in the time that we are kind of creating kind of a bearish structure, right? A high here, come to here, now we have a low here. But for us to say, okay, confirm that this one is a low, right? Is the higher the lower high we've had here, because this is a high. Now we have what? A low, right? Kind of lower high. Did you get it? So now we are trying to see if we can get this this move, take out this zone, then we'll confirm that we are not going bearish. That will mean we'll be waiting to see what price breaking out of this zone, we're testing them on the downside. That will be our what we'll be looking out for. But if we can't have that, we have price rejecting again, then what we might be expecting that we might expect to see price move back to this upside. Right? We might expect to see price move back to the upside. So my view is that what I'll be looking at for is that, okay, should price tend to reject back to the upside, right? Should price tend to be rejecting back to the upside, give me candlesticks rejection here, then I'll be taking buys. But if I get a breakout here, that will take sales to the downside, right? Those are two things I have. Once I have that buy on the higher time frame, then I'll come to my lower time frame. What am I having? Sales happen here. So if we can have a breakout here, and then we'll be taking sales to this level. That's 100 pips, right? Overall target is here. That's like 200 pips. Now, if we fail to have that, because we are within this range, we might have now a rejection, price rejecting back to this level, right? So having that, I already have two bias on GBP, what I'm expecting to happen, right? So let's just wait and see how it's going to play out. If you're having a breakout here or having a breakout here, but the possibility of what I'm seeing is that price might reject back to the upside, right? Then now we're having kind of a bearish momentum here, so let's wait and see what's going to happen. But that's that on GBP. We'll move on to let me use US30. So US30, that's going to be the last pair we are talking about. I want to keep the video very short. So US30, as I said, breakout here, it's a very good trade. Sells now, testing here, rejecting again. So what I'm expecting on US30 is I want to see US30 coming back to this level somewhere here. That's my view of US34 200. I'm expecting I've seen US30 from somewhere around here, right? So based on technicals, right? See, we came here rejected, come here reject on this level. So we're expecting to see some kind of bearish pressure, putting for price to take out this zone. If I can see price taking out this zone, then I know that okay, what I'll be looking at is that just see some momentum here, then reject just price reacting back to this zone. Then I'll be taking those sales. First TP here, second TP down here, right? So that's just what I'm looking at for on US30. So very plain. That's my the best of the trading this week. Should I have any updates on any other currency pair I want to look out for, I will definitely send it make a video and I'll send that through. So wish you guys all the best this week. Have a nice trading week as well. Just make sure you may have your plan and trade your plan as well, right? So I'll see you next week.